Okay, I took the panel off, and sure enough, there's a broken wire right there. So let's take a look at where I took it off from. There's the panel. I can't really see inside. You're probably seeing better than I am. Let's see. Can't really see what's inside there. I'm gonna have to stick my head, put a pillow under the by the footwell, and go upside down and figure out what's going on there. But it is a broken wire, and I'm hoping that I can get access to it and figure out why it's broken. My guess is that it wrapped itself around the steering shaft, and that's what the issue is. So I'll get that sorted out, and that should do it. I hope. Yeah, it should do it. I've checked out everything else, and I've done a bunch of tests. Checking for current flow, and just kind of faked out not having the broken wire, and I was able to get the horn to work. So I know that the relays and everything else is working. Speaking of horns, okay, so I gotta talk about this. Speaking of horns, this is just general knowledge in case you have in Mexico or any of these Maseratis from this time period. There are two horns in the car. Okay, one's called a city horn, and one's called a country horn. Yeah. So the city horn is an electric horn. Where the hell is it? It's in here somewhere. Let me get my light. So that made it really complicated trying to figure out which horn exactly I'm trying to fix. And both the city horn and the country horn work, but I'm working on the country horn, and the country horn, which is the trumpets are hidden behind this panel. Trumpets, it's how many? Two trumpets, and run by a compressor. That's a Fiam compressor right there. So when you turn the car on, the compressor comes on, and it's just compressing air and pushing it out that way. And when you blow the horn, that air blows through the when you push the horn button, it activates the air compressor and pushes air out onto the trumpets. And yeah, it's pretty much like blowing a trumpet. And that's your country horn, which it's louder than the city horn. And the city horn is an electric horn, which is also out there behind this panel in front of the radiator, and sounds like a normal horn. The confusing thing for me, well, a couple of things. The country horn, or I gotta stop calling that, it's so silly. The horn that blows through the compressor needs to be exercised. I can't say that with a straight face. Needs to be exercised at least once every 6 months to make sure that the compressor keeps working. And I'm just gonna hold on 1 second, guys. As I'm looking at this, I'm looking at that feels pretty slack. I'm gonna have to tighten these belts. That's the air conditioning clutch belt. I worked on the air conditioning fairly recently, and that was the last major thing that I worked on this car, because I tried going somewhere and the compressor clutch seized, and but because it drives the water pump, I'm gonna have to explain this. It's weird. A lot of things are weird about this car, but anyway, I'm just noticing that this belt doesn't look that tight, so I'm just gonna have to tighten that. That's a separate thing later on. But anyway, let's get back to the horn. You do have to exercise the horn by just blowing it every few months to make sure that it continues to work. The country horn, the compressor horn, blows by pushing on the horn button. Yeah, it blows when you go like that, once I fix the wire. The city horn, on the other hand, I'm not sure how that works. I've looked at a bunch of other of documentation, and the best I could see is that it is controlled by this stock, but it doesn't tell you how. Now, I spoke to somebody who's got a Ghibli, and they say that there should be a button right here, when you push the button, and that's what activates it. But in looking at, I hope I was showing you stuff with the camera while I'm talking, instead of just kind of pointing it away somewhere. It's controlled by this stock, which is the turn signal, and I think it controls the high beam as well. And I think the way it's supposed to work is to push a button, but this molding doesn't look like a button, and this whole stock does not push him. So consequently, I still have no idea how to run the electric horn on this car. I know it works because I've kind of short wired it, and I was able to activate it, but I don't know how to activate it. So, worst case scenario, God, I hate to even think of, I might wire a hidden button somewhere so I can pass inspection if my country horn decides to not work. They say, oh, blow your horn. I'll just reach under and touch something, and beep beep, and that should do it. Or maybe even wire it to this. That'll probably be a better deal. Just wire the city horn to that. So it's an electric horn. But this car is spectacularly original. I hate the idea of messing around with the way it's supposed to work. So anyway, I'm not there yet. So what I'm going to do right now is get a pillow, lay down, put my head on the footwell, upside down, and try to find the wire that's broken and reconnect it back to the panel. If you look at, so here's the way it's supposed to work. This is the panel that covers it. This is some kind of material that's non-conductive, and it keeps it from grounding itself, okay, until the button is pushed, okay. And it's broken here, and I'm pretty sure that the reason it broke is because it's wound around the steering shaft. So I'm gonna have to unwind it, figure out the way it's supposed to be, and then make a new one of these, and hopefully that'll sort it out. Okay, all right, I'll work on that, and I'll be back when I have something to report.